All right, my squires, welcome. I am the Night Owl, here to bring you my first Brothers War draft. It's not actually my first draft. I did one when I wasn't in the recording mood, and I just wanted to jam a couple games real quick. But this is going to be my first recorded draft of the format. And yeah, I'm excited. My first draft went okay. I played green white, and I did all right, but it was not amazing. Um, the set seems okay. So a couple things. It does seem pretty bomby, which is not super exciting. But yeah, I think like the decks look interesting at least. Let's see. So first we have Lauren, Disciple of History is what I think I want to start with because this is a really pretty powerful ability. Kind of like I mentioned in my set review. Um, you don't need to get like multiple legends. Like if you just like buy back one card with this, you've already kind of done it and is like a good place to start. The commons here are not very exciting. We have what like Disfigure maybe, Argothian Opportunist. I think this is only going to be fun. I think it's going to be decent, but it's not going to be anything insane or anything like that. Opportunist is like probably the other best common here, which is like not a good sign. So really weak commons in this pack, and even the uncommons are kind of weak. Like this is like an expensive synergy piece. This is like a super aggro card, but it's like the format doesn't even seem like it's like about doing this kind of thing. I'm easily taking the best card out of this pack here, and there's like leaving like not much behind. So other people can fight over this one. I'll take the Lauren to start with. Okay, so I can ignore all the uncommons. These are like both Fs, like unplayable. Blanchard Armor is like in a very specific deck you can play it. Seems okay. Again, the commons here seem kind of weak too. I'm between Scrapwork Rager, which this card can be decent. Like I think I like this one because I could reasonably play it in a non-black deck, and in a black deck it gets a little bit better. Then the other options like Rust Goliath, which even then that's not insane. Like 5 mana 3/5 reach tramples like a fine defensive creature, but it does like get some beef into my deck, which is excuse me, which is nice. Um, I think Rager's kind of the best card in the pack here. 4 mana is like way worse than 3 mana from your typical Phyrexian Rager, but I think it's still acceptable. I think the format's a little slower than other formats where you see Phyrexian Rager too, so I think it becomes a little bit better in that regard. And again, I can play this in any color deck, so I think it's fine. A pretty weak pack overall. Starting off with 2 4 drops. Okay, a lot of options here, and I think it's one of them's going to be a white card. So we have these 2 expensive artifacts. I don't think I need to pick up like the thing about like Suchi Cave Guard is like there's so many like prototypes or whatever that like this is not that important because you want your artifacts to be ideally you want like the prototype versions a little bit more. There's Epic Confrontation and Unleash Shell, which are both reasonable removal spells, but I see no reason to not take a white card here. And I'm kind of between, and there's also Goring Warpaw. This pack is way better than like all of the other packs that I've seen so far. It's between like Great Desert Prospector and Prison Sentence. I think I want to try Great Desert Prospector. Prison Sentence is decent. The thing is, this looks like Arrest with Upside, and it is. I mean, it's Arrest with the Scry 2 on it. But the thing is, there are a lot of cards in this set that like actually punish this really bad. There's a million ways to sacrifice the creatures. There's creatures with abilities that this doesn't shut off. You can like return the creatures to your hand. There's just a lot of things that make this like not nearly as good as you might think it is. This card seems like it could like really go off in the right deck, so I'm gonna try it. Oh boy. Okay, wow, we got a one with the multiverse here. Is this a real card? I don't know. I gotta think about that. Um, Other options are like Disenchant, Power Stone Fracture. I think between the two, I'd start with the Disenchant. There's like a bunch of removal spells basically. It's like Weak Sun Subjugation, Disenchant, Fearic Blast, Power Stone Fracture. And I think because I already have the white cards and Disenchant might just be the best anyways, I think I'd take the Disenchant out of these. Skullflare is a decent card. Like this is another pack that's like way better than my first 2 packs. This card is wild, but like 8 mana is really kind of unreasonable because you can't even Power Stone this out. I just don't think that this is where I want to be. I think we're just going to take the Disenchant and be happy with that. I'd be happy with any of these other removal spells too, but seeing as I already got 2 white cards, let's go with that. Again, eyeing black, but don't even have to get there. Elsewhere Flask is replaceable. I don't really need that. We'll just take Disenchant. Well, there's a bunch of green cards in the pack. I'm kind of glad that I didn't go with the one with the multiverse because it looks like there's no blue here. Red looks like it's also getting picked over. So only white cards Yoshi and Medic. Well, I actually know because these two are like kind of white cards too. And Scrapper Cohort is like a real thing. Goes well with my Great Desert Prospector. Um, it keeps me in one color. So the thing is, there's Epic Confrontation, which would be the best green card to take here, and there is a bunch of green cards in this pack. So maybe I should be taking a green card. Like confrontation is really good, but this goes so good with my prospector and with all the like, and it keeps me in white and doesn't move me into another color that I think this is where I want to be. No One Left Behind is interesting too because if I do end up in like a graveyard synergy deck, like this can actually like return like a big fatty to play, and that's pretty nice. If I end up playing green, I'll miss the confrontation, but I think I'm gonna start with cohort. Hmm. Well, no real white cards here. The green cards are replaceable, nothing special. There's Mechanized Warfare. I think this card's okay. I think it's like the worst anthem that you could have, basically. It's like an anthem that only works with some of your creatures and um, doesn't actually provide any toughness. And the upside is that your spells get a little stronger too. I actually think the card is not bad, but it's not nearly as exciting as it might look. I'm kind of tempted to take Soul Guide Lantern because not only does this like is it like a cheap artifact, but this will actually like say like discard a card on it sometimes, and it's like I don't really feel a need to like move into another color at this point. So this will like just yeah get another cheap artifact in the deck, cycles basically, and makes my opponent discard cards. Now, oh boy, discard cards by eating their graveyard's energies. So there's another Epic Confrontation. There's a Jam Tome, I think it's this. And then there's Junkyard Genius. This card is so good. Like, this card's absurd. That I kind of want to take like, I already have a couple of white cards. Like, I got a bunch of white cards. But, like, do I, like, maybe Audible? And the thing is, red-black doesn't look like it's open. But this card is really, 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 really good. Is that a sign? Should I take the Epic Confrontation? I think I'm going to take Junkyard Genius and just see where this goes. I don't want Yoshi Medic. I don't want this Slagstone Refinery. Could take Emergency Weld. So what's the best thing? Like the thing is, like my white cards are like only fine. Like I have like the Disenchant basically. Desert Prospector's okay. Lauren's okay. I don't necessarily want to just abandon the white, but it's not like my white is special by any means. And I can still play the Scrapwork Cohort. Let's take Emergency Weld. I think we're going to take this because it could go with if I end up in the white-black plan. I could do that. Maybe I just splash the red for the Junkyard Genius. I think that seems fine. Another Emergency Weld. You can't really play too many of these. Maybe I'll take Gixie and Infiltrator instead. Yeah, I think that this seems better. So now I'm looking like I might be white-black. Maybe I'll splash the Genius. Some fine green cards. We'll take Scrapsmith. I'm also like eyeing like a potential like red-black plan because like yeah, we'll take Trench Stalker here. Or no, Unleash Shell. Look at this. This came all the way around. This is like a decent removal spell too. Yeah, maybe I'm just like changing colors here. Skull Flare. This I think it's better than Scrapsmith by quite a bit. I don't plan on playing Ashnod's Intervention. I don't think the card's very good, but we'll take Courier. Probably won't make the deck, no matter what it ends up looking like. Yeah, because like so the thing is like I'm moving away from Great Desert Prospector, but it doesn't look like the deck I was like making was like gonna like take good advantage of this anyways. Lauren's a solid card, but it's also just like kind of like a 3/3 draw card. Disenchant's a fine removal spell. Scrapper Cohort, like again, it could still make this deck just fine. Junkyard Genius is like my best card by a lot, actually, and I actually seem to be going in a good direction for that. So Decasia, huh? I don't think it's gonna be that. So options are Excavation Explosion. I don't think it's either the white cards, neither Yoshi Tactician or Phalanx Vanguard. Could be Adaptive Automaton. Like, what am I got a bunch of, like, it's kind of like, I'm kind of on human tribal here. Like, and, you know, I don't know. So it could be this because it is a creature. It does, like, provide, like, a nice boost. I think it's that or Excavation Explosion. And I actually don't know what's better. I think we're going to take Adaptive Automaton. I think it just like adds like a little bit of an X factor to the deck. Scrapwork Rager would be fine too. It might be that this doesn't like work out like amazingly, but I want to try it. I want to see if I can like go in on it. Fall of Krug, that ain't it. Another Unleashed Shell. Ooh, I think I'm going to take Goring Warplow actually. So yeah, options are like Infiltrator, Cohort, Unleashed Shell, Warplow. Strongbow is a decent card in the red-black sacrifice deck, but I think Warplow is a little bit better. It's an artifact, it's cheap, I can play it as a 2-drop, but it also like gives me like a 6-drop in the deck. Um, and more epic confrontations coming around, and a bushwhack, so there's some decent green cards here. But I think I kind of passed the ship on green, so yeah, we'll go with Warplow. I think I'm off the white. I think I'm off the white. And really, like, I picked like this, and then I didn't really see any great white. I mean, well, here's Static Net and Queen Caleb and Krug, so I mean, yeah, here we go. What actually looks good? I could splash the white and play Queen Kayla. I have to figure out how to splash though, and splashing is not very easy in this set. And I got to kind of like get the last out of my mind where it's like, oh, I'll just pick up some lands because I can't. You can't do that. I don't think it's Carrion Locust or Moment of Defiance. The other option's like Rock Hunter, though that seems really weak, but I do want like more like 2-drops. Like when I'm playing like Junkyard Genius, you do want to like bash starting early. Man. I think I'm going to take Juggernaut. I think I'm going to take Juggernaut. There's another Warren. Jeez, and Disenchant. Okay, well. So I took Juggernaut there because I think it's just going to, like, I think I'm just going to want, like, a big basher. Like, I think I'm kind of turning into a semi-artifact aggro deck, so we'll go with that. So options here, Warplow, Power Stone Fracture. Basically those two. I think Disciples of Gix is fine, but I think that, like, I'd rather have my 6-drops look like Goring Warplow. Maybe I want Power Stone Fracture because my removal isn't insane. Because let's see, we'll put the spells like over here. That was a Lantern. This does give me a sacrifice. I think maybe Warplow is a little bit more important though. Like I can play it as a 2-drop. Same deal with the first Warplow. And it's hard to have too many of these. That's okay. Okay. Power Stone Fracture is fine, but you kind of have to watch like how many of that kind of effect you put in your deck. And I actually don't have great sacrifice fodder at the moment. Like I don't have like a lot of like Power Stones or anything like that. Yeah, here I think it's just Blitz Automaton. Yeah, and this is kind of perfect. Like a nice hasty beater. Gives me a nice thing to tap out for in the later game. My 3-drops are like kind of filling up a little bit, but that's fine. What else do I got? Yeah, nothing really here. And I don't know, like I feel decent moving off of the white. I feel like there's just been good white cards in the early picks in the pack because of this pick 5. But overall, it's like not that open. Energy Refractor is like kind of the other card that I'm looking at here because it is an artifact that replaces itself, but I think just getting the Blitz Automaton in the deck's a little bit better. I am filling up on 3-drops though. It's kind of bad. Another Scrapsmith, a Juggernaut. This is not a bad place to pick Disciples up here, but I don't really have like any like Unearth really. I got a little bit. I got Scrapbook Rager and Juggernaut. So I'm getting there that this could be reasonable. I kind of want to take Supply Drop though, because I am a more aggressive deck. Like this is like kind of a nice like thing to play like to back up my creatures, and then it's like I'm fine sacrificing it for some of my other effects too. It's like kind of a combat trick in these colors. I don't know. This card seems decent to me. I might be overrating it a little bit, but I think it seems fine. Oh, none of these cards are great. Infantry, like I just have too many 3-drops as it is. I don't think Ashnod's Intervention does it really for me. I already have one. I'm not crazy about it. Let's go here. Don't like any of my options. Yeah, I guess it's infantry, but it is like a decent sacrifice card, I suppose. Another Junkyard Genius. Okay, here we go. Here we go. There's no way that this isn't the pick. I need to fill up my 2-drop slot a little bit more. But yeah, this is great. Gigamole would probably be my second pick. Reunion's fine. But yeah, double Junkyard Genius. This card slaps. So now I really want to just like fill out the cheaper portion of my deck. Here I'll take Blast Runner. I'm starting to get to the point. This card is like not great, but I'm starting to get to the point where like this might be okay. I think it's better than the second Emergency Weld, and I think it's better than Bitter Reunion. Just having a cheap creature to go along with like my Junkyard Genius. What other sacrifice cards do I have? I think that's fine to pick that there. Unleash Shell, Infiltrator, or or Strongbow. I think I want Infiltrator because it's so important for me to fill out my 2-drops. And then, what sacrifice cards do I have now? I have, like, Soul Guide Lantern can sacrifice itself. Supply Drop can sacrifice itself. And then there's Junkyard Genius. So, I don't have, like, a ton of sacrifice, like, cards that actually sacrifice. But I still think that like picking this as a 2-drop's where I want to be. And here I'll take Rock Hunter. Moment of Defiance could be decent. I don't need another 3-drop in Locust. I think it's just having a 2-mana 3/1 that can bash, like starting early is kind of where I want to be. Moment of Defiance could be reasonable, but I think it's just too important to have my 2-drop slot all filled out. Now I'll take Power Stone Fracture. Here we go. So this gives me another sacrifice like ability to like turn on like my Blast Runners, my Infiltrators, things like that. Yeah. And it's just a solid removal spell. So none of this is good. I'll take Liquid Metal Coating, but I don't think you should play this card. Oh, Moment of Defiance, perfect. Well, we'll see if it makes it, but I can definitely see it making it. And then I want Ashnod's Intervention. Though it also goes good with my sacrifice stuff because I can buy it back whenever I sacrifice. Lots of lore and Disciple of Histories, dang. I think I'm going to take another Power Stone Fracture here. I want a little more fodder for this deck. I don't have a lot. But it still seems like the way to go. Actually, is it Battlefield Butcher? I actually am gonna try this because this like seems like a card that like will give me good over the top reach later on in the game. Whereas like Power Stone Fracture, like first of all the last one wheeled, and I don't have so much fodder that I'm like that convinced it'll be great. Chromatic Star could be a pick because of that because I do need more fodder in the deck. But this card is actually like pretty lethal. While a 3rd Junkyard Genius, let's do it. Is there anything I'm just like missing? Another Lauren, what in the world? Another Infiltrator, maybe I'll get this on the wheel. There's a Sibling Rivalry, which I actually want Sibling Rivalries pretty bad, but I don't think I can pass another Genius here. I'd even take the Scrapwork Cohort at this point. It's not Howling Mine. Yeah, pretty easy Genius. Okay. So we have Dwarven Forge Chanter, Corrupt, Penrigan Strongbow. Man, I have so many 3-drops. The part of me just wants the Forge Chanter, but I don't have like a lot of spells to play to actually make this decent. I don't think it's Corrupt. I'm going to be playing too much red. I could be wrong about that. Oh, it could be Raised to the Ground. Yeah, I'm going to take Raised to the Ground. I don't have a ton of removal, and this is like an artifact removal spell. I actually think this is the way to go. All right. Here I think it's Strongbow. Actually, ooh, Ichor Wellspring? No. It's Ichor Wellspring. This is perfect. This gives me fodder, gives me gas. Like, this goes so good with my Junkyard Geniuses. I'd want the Strongbow. Acrobat would be fine, but I actually think that Wellspring will fit really nicely in this deck. What do I think here? I still don't have enough Unearth that I'm excited about Disciples of Gix, and it'd be like my most expensive card when I have like 2 6s and a 7 anyway. See, this is what I'm talking about. I don't really need to fill the deck with this kind of stuff. I could take Goblin Blast Runner, but this card's like pretty weak. It's pretty weak. I also could take Supply Drop. I actually think the second Supply Drop might be good, like just to back up like my creatures, and then I'm like if I like cash this in for like a Junkyard Genius attack, it's like kind of like draw a card on it. Like you can get the card out of this anyways by like just using it as a trick. And then so you don't have to get like the 2-for-1 exactly, you know. Mine Worker or Whirling Strike. I think it's one of the two. Because I could use another 2-drop in this deck. Even if it's just this silly 2-1. But Whirling Strike's a decent trick. I think I'm going to take the Whirling Strike. Yo. Alright, Overwhelming Remorse. Perfect. Really strong removal spell. Maybe Black's Best Common? Bitter Reunion would be fine. I don't know about you, Levitating Statue. But yeah, I don't know. Let's take Overwhelming Remorse. Alright. What about this? Clay Revenant? So this card is so weak, but it does have good synergy with my cards. It's just so weak, though. I actually think I'm going to take Giggle Mole. I think it's just a little bit better. Power Stone Fracture, perfect. And here we go. Gixian Infiltrator. Okay, we got a deck going. Here I'm going to take Corrupt. This card could be, it's like a good aggro card, but I just don't think it's good enough. I just don't think it's good enough. We'll take the Corrupt. I don't need a second Moment of Defiance. I don't even know if I'm going to play the first. And then after passing all those Strongbolts, I get one, so now I can like set that up just good. I'll take the other Blast Runner over the Scrapsmith, because I don't think I'm going to play another Scrapsmith, and I might decide that playing two of these guys is where I want to be. All right, so I'm going to cut. Yeah, I got to start cutting cards. Obviously, I have 36 cards in this deck, so I ain't going to do it, you know. It's tough because a lot of these cards like that are perfectly cuttable are actually like good synergy pieces. Human, 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 mole. I'm going to take Mind Worker. I'm not going to play two Emergency Welds, and it might be the case that I want another 2-drop, though I doubt it. Alright, so I probably am going to cut Ashnod's Intervention. This is cute with my sacrifice abilities, and it's like kind of a trick, but I just think I have like enough of that going on that I don't really want it. Huh. Okay. Okay. This is going to be a tough build. Okay, so where do we start? Sorry, I'm like spacing out, gang. So Scrapper Cohort probably is good enough to make it even without the Unearth because it's 2 artifact bodies. So it goes good with my junk. It goes really good with my junkyard dudes, junkyard geniuses because they both get the ability and it gives you stuff to sack. So like it just seems like this is good enough anyways. Um, we'll start one emergency weld. Play the Power Fractures, the Butcher, the Skull Flare. I just might not have enough space in the deck for this to make it. Gigamole will wait on. It's kind of a value play, and I'm sort of an aggro deck. Whereas Scrapwork Rager is also kind of the same thing, but between the Unearth, like it's just more value, and it's an artifact. Actually, how much do I care about it being an artifact, though? I'll have to see. I'll have to see. Start the War Plows, of course. Probably start the Rock Hunter with the Whirling Strike. Infantry is like my worst 3-drop. Scrapsmith is also kind of bad. Yeah, I'm already like maxed out here, and okay, we'll put the Lantern in for now, but we'll see about it. And so like I'm also not playing like a bunch of good cards. Like I'm not playing any of my Blast Runners, though this, like I said, this card is kind of weak, so I'm not sure I want it anyways. All right, let's start sorting this out here. Let's put this like this. Okay, so this is 28 cards. This is 28 cards. So I got to cut a bunch. So Soul Guide Lantern's interesting because it sacrifices itself, which helps my infiltrators out, but also like gives me a reasonable card to sacrifice to other things like Genius. Because again, I can like eat their graveyard synergies and sacrifice it to Genius. Is that good enough? Probably not. Like most of the value is in that it sacrifices itself. It's kind of a funny card to cut because it basically just cycles, but I'm getting to the point where like that's kind of what I'm looking at, right? I think I like the supply drops because I'm playing these like cheaper, weaker creatures, and these do give me really good fodder for the Junkyard Geniuses. Like I can freely attack with my 2-drops, get through with the supply drops, and then have them to sacrifice later, both to draw cards and to push damage through. I think I like the Adaptive Automaton enough because like I have so many humans in the deck. Though it's a little awkward, it's not amazing. Emergency Weld is also kind of like medium because I need a creature in the graveyard, and then this will buy it back and buy me a 1/1. But it's not, if I'm like trying to like aggressively attack, that's actually not a great use of my mana. Even though it does give me value for the Junkyard Genius in that it like gives me it like turns into another creature and then makes it 1/1 that I can freely sacrifice. If I'm playing like heavy aggro, like I actually don't want to spend my mana doing this, and I don't want this to be caught in my hand. So I actually think I'm going to cut the Emergency Weld. Um, I'm going to cut the Lantern. I think I'm going to play 20, or yeah, I think I'm going to play 24 spells. I think I'm going to play 16 land in this deck. I have multiple cards that like kind of cycle between Ichor Wellspring, Scrapper Rager, um, all of my like other cards. Like this deck does like top out at 5, like if I don't count these, and like I might get there with these, but really, it's I don't have to. And I have like a decent number of Power Stones with my Junkyard Geniuses. So my more expensive cards, like I have Geniuses to help me cast them. So I think that that makes sense. Do I cut one of these 3-drops? I'm really glutted on 3s. It could be that the Automaton just goes. Because it is just a 2/2. Even if it like boosts like a couple, it's like a 3-mana 2/2 that also just like kind of boosts like my other dudes. Oh, maybe that's good enough though. Maybe that's good enough. Cohort's like pretty weak, but it's one of my best cards with Junkyard Genius, right? One, two. I'm also considering cutting the Raise to the Ground because I have like a decent amount of other removal plus some combat tricks that don't count on my opponent having an artifact spell. Yeah, I'm going to cut this, I think. Like, maybe you should play it, but a lot of the artifacts that are scarier are on the more expensive side, and I think my plan to beat those kind of cards is to just kill my opponent before they matter. And so I don't want... It's really important in your aggro decks that cards don't get stuck in your hand. Like, you want, like, all of your resources to be focused on killing your opponent. Um, so it seems like that's the removal spell that is like the highest liability. I'll put it that way. How many artifacts do I have? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. A bunch. I'm counting for a Pendragon Strongbow. Hmm. Unleash Shell is also reasonable to cut, except it does shoot them for 2, which actually is a big deal. I could cut the Rock Hunter because I already have these other 2-drops, but I think I think they're just good enough that I still want it. Whirling Strike could maybe go. Though I do think I want some number of tricks in this deck. Skullflare is also a little bit more of like a long-term game plan. Maybe Skullflare can go, even though I think it's like a really good card. Because it just does become problematic once you have the graveyard full. I don't actually have, like, besides sacrificing stuff, I actually don't have, like, any mill or anything like that. And so it actually is reasonable that this only, like, plays as, like, a 2/3 most of the time. Yeah, I actually think that's a reasonable card to cut. Okay, cool. We'll do this, and we'll go, like, 8 and 8, and that seems right to me. All right, we're in Black-Red Sacrifice aggro. I think I'm into it. I think I'm into it. I caved and I bought these. I just needed some lands that I liked, And they look great. Look at these things. Look at them. I don't know if you can see them because they're kind of hiding behind my picture here, I'm sure. But you'll just have to trust me. They're great. You've seen them. All right, cool. Red-black sacrifice artifact aggro. We'll see for round 1. All right, round 1. Red-black sack aggro. I think which is kind of where I was supposed to end up. I mean, let's be real. I'm kind of biased towards decks like this, so I don't know, but I think it's fine. This hand is kind of bad. Do I keep it? Do I keep it? I have a Wellspring. I get to draw a card. Yeah, yeah, I have like my best removal spell. I have like Wellspring into Fracture. Like, this is not exciting, but it just doesn't seem like a mulligan to me, you know? Let's start with Wellspring. This is kind of good. I also just kind of have to like name Human blindly, which is kind of cute, you know? It's whatever. Human being, like, of course I got like a million humans. Even though I drew like the Scrapwork Rager, I don't have enough Phyrexians or Horrors. Oh, Infiltrator of your own, huh? Oh. I think I'm just going to cast Genius because the Power Stone actually helps me power stuff out a little bit better. Like if I draw a land, I can like fracture Wellspring on something and cast Automaton, which is a good turn. Or it'll help me cast Supply Drop. Blue black, they have an Infiltrator. I think that this land's going to be decent. I don't know. The limited resources guys kind of dunked on it a little bit. I say dunked on it. They said it was just like not great. I have a feeling that this is actually going to be an acceptable card to play a lot of the time. Yeah. So I could sacrifice Wellspring, kill the Skullflare. I think I just attack first. If they let me supply drop here, then so be it. Could have also just played Automaton, I suppose. Yeah, that's fine. So actually what I want to do I want to play Rager? Yeah, because I think, because it'll help me hit my land drop. It uses my mana the best. Oh, that wasn't it. That's okay. I didn't want to just blow my Fracture there. My hand seems good. I just gotta like not choke on mana too much. Okay. You mill yourself, right? Wow, Mightstone, a Weak Stone, and another Skullflare. Okay. My opponent's mana situation does not... I mean, they might play another land here, but... Do I just block? I am under pressure. Puts my Rager in the graveyard. What do I think of that? Yeah, I mean, it's like... It kind of like gets them to a point where their Skullflare is a little bit better. Am I going to be dealing more damage to them by keeping Scrapwork Rager around? I think so. When I go to 13 here, I'll be attacking them back for 14. Yeah, I suppose the Junkyard Genius is on the battlefield. I just want to keep my Rager. Yeah, that turned out. Okay. So, how do I want to do this? I have 5 mana if I cast an artifact. Um, kind of want to cast Automaton and then Fracture Skullflare. Actually, maybe I'll cast Junkyard Genius. So first I'll go to attacks. The reason why I cast Junkyard Genius is because then next turn I can cast Automaton and have them both pumped. So first, actually, I'm going to Fracture Skullflare. I'll cast another Junkyard Genius. Oh, wait, no, I can't because I don't have the mana to do that. Right, I want to cast an artifact. So no, I'll just cast Automaton. A little embarrassing. I could have got another point in, but it's fine. And they hit another Black Source. So it costs 6 to play this guy and use the ability immediately. But, I mean, I threatened to hit for what, 4, 7, 10? That's a lot. I think I'm in good shape. I mean, my opponent could obviously... Oh, that's great. That's great for me. That card is not good. Oh, okay, all right. Reasonable. Sure. Uh-huh. Why would you do this? Puts another creature in your graveyard. I don't see a way. Oh, I see. No, no, no. It gives -1, -1. Yeah, so no blocks. It's fine. Perfect. So that gives me 6 mana. If I wanted to go Genius Sacrifice, which I kind of do, because they what? They take like 1,000,000 damage. And then on the follow-up turn, I would still have 6 mana because this is going to make a Power Stone, right? And so I would still have, I would still be able to like activate Genius again and have Supply Drop back up. Yeah, we'll do that. And it's going to be hard to imagine that I can't get enough damage in between like being able to do this again and Supply Drop, um, and then like eventually I could go like Strong Bull. Yeah, yeah, they go to 8. I still have a huge board. I could try to get out of it. I think I'm in good shape though. The beginning of formats is kind of tough because I know the card list decently so far, but like I don't know like as you get more experience in the format, you'll get more used to being like, this is what they could slam to flip this board. And as of right now, I don't really know. But overwhelming remorse like goes so far towards helping me that like I think they just died of that. I think they just die. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because what I sacrificed this. These two have menace, so they can only block one creature anyways between the two of them, and then they'll supply drop. Yeah. And I'll have Xaxes. I don't think there's a 1 mana trick that saves them. This gives menace, right? Yep, sure. Um, it doesn't matter. Perfect. Xaxes, nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I think the only single black trick is Ashnod's Intervention. That, of course, wasn't going to do anything. So that's how we drew it up. Just artifact beats with Junkyard Geniuses. That was great. Cool. All right, round 2. All right, round 2. That was an encouraging start. That was an encouraging start. Didn't even start on one of my 2-drops. I go first. Yeah, I'm going to need to draw some red, but I think that this is fine. Now, Warplow is a little bit weak in like an aggro sense because it is just going to be a 1/1, but it's fine. Oh, never mind. Here we go. Infiltrator, let's do it. Really hope I draw a land here. I did not. Land here would be good, though. Mono red. Okay. Mm. You are a sorcerer, yes? Okay. Um. Yeah, just bash. Okay. Do I kill this? Do I kill this with the Warplow? I'm tempted to. I like 2-for-1 myself, but they're gonna start bashing me back, and I might not get a chance to like deploy this otherwise. It also like will start cheapening my overwhelming remorse, and it'll make my infiltrator bigger, and use my mana. I think I actually kind of have to. This looks really bad, but I think I got to do it. Very interesting no attack, no block play from my opponent there. All right, we battle. Supply drop. Cool. Opponent's also on black-red. Here comes Mishra's Juggernaut. So I don't want to attack here because they'll block. Well, if they block, I think that's fine, actually. No, because, I mean, I can make this bigger. They'll probably trade off because they're under so much pressure, right? I think it's fine. They just take it. Okay. Man, I'm like really choking. It's kind of annoying. Save with the supply drop. I get to at least use my mana there. Warplow of their own. Oh, it's a big one. It's a big boy. I understand I'm playing 16 land, but like sometimes you just get like so mega punished for like nothing. You know what I mean? Like I just. Uh, yep. I just couldn't draw out of this. Yeah. Oh, here we go. I think it's too late because I can kill one, but like it's just not going to do enough. I can kill with overwhelming remorse and then what like block with warplow. I'm just dead. I don't know. I can kill this chump warplow and then maybe like draw another land and nah, I can play it out. I can play it out. I'm not excited about it. Really annoying way to lose a game though. Really annoying way to lose a game. I haven't lost yet. I basically have to rip Mountain. Well, I did it. That's amazing. Is there a reason to do anything else now? See, I really think Dig Site's a good card. It's going to go off here. They've already, like, stopped themselves from drawing multiple lands. Yep. Yep, they have no action. They're thinking about it. Oh. I can maybe get out of this? Yeah? Okay. Yep. There's a really good chance I just die to something, but so it goes. Yeah. Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I have to be so careful. So I could sacrifice supply drop. I think what I need to actually do is play creatures on the battlefield, though. I'm trying to figure out how to like best sequence this. I think I want to play Blitz. Well, actually, I can play Blitz Automaton as a 6/4 and just attack with that, and then leave these two back. That actually seems way better, because then it's like it's a lot harder for them to just kill me, and they have to do something about Blitz Automaton. Yeah. Yep. Suppose I could have attacked with everything and they had to block something. Energy Refractor, sure. It's fine by me. Man, if they just hit me with a burn spell, I'm going to be so sad. Uh-huh. You're on Junkyard Genius. You get a Chromatic Star. Or a Stone Retrieval Unit. A Combat Courier. Okay, they unearthed it. And a Rager. They unearthed that. They go to 8. They're totally tapped out. Yeah. So I think I block. So do I block with Junkyard Genius or Gixian Infiltrator? I'll take one. I think it doesn't matter because I can play Genius, sack it, and then they'll just die. Yeah, so I block here. I take one. I don't think there's a way that I take any more damage. Yeah, this seems right to me. I actually got out of this. That's amazing. I can't believe that. I got so lucky. They must have flooded out really bad. I really thought I was dead this game. But we got there. I almost conceded too. But nope, things just turned out perfectly. I mean, I got really, really, really lucky. Like if I hadn't drawn exactly Mountain there, I would have died. So let's not pretend like I didn't get like super lucky to get out of this game. And then opponent like just like super flooded out. But that happens sometimes. Just well worth sticking it out. Okay, cool. All right, round 3. All right, round 3 it is. Let's go. Is this a hand? Yeah, seems fine. A little low pressure, but I think I got good mana. I have reasonable plays. I got a removal spell. Like, let's do it. Oh yeah, well now we'll play Infiltrator. Red white. Man, I like these lands too. So I was looking at these the other day. I love this plains. Like this one really like does it for me. It just kind of like captures like the beauty and like awe of space to me. I think all of the other ones like are okay. Like it's like it looks like a big fiery planet or whatever, and like the jungle one looks like a jungle planet and all that kind of good stuff. But I'm just gonna bash here. Because Battlefield Butcher blocks this excellently. But this plains, like first of all, it's like evocative of the plains. It's like this big flat expanse, but like in the form and beauty of space. Like I just love it. This is like such a good land. Chaplain. I'm a little underwhelmed by this card, honestly. I think it's okay. What they get their Hornstone Seeker here. That's not bad. But kind of like what I was talking about in the set review, it just leaves the 1/1 flyer body behind. Not nothing, but it's also like not like amazing by any means. It's like okay. Ah, Scrapwork Rager. Okay. Yeah, I'll just play Rager. I don't see a reason to like jam anything else right here. Like I don't want to attack because it exposes me to the Rock Hunter. And Infiltrator will just trade off when really I can get another counter on this at some point. So let's do this. Double Power Stone Fracture is bad. Supply Drop's actually one of my better draws now because I can get a reasonable attack in. Yeah, hitting the 2/2 Menace was actually pretty good off the Chaplain. But like I said, overall, I think Chaplain's only okay. It's really slow. It's really slow. 3 mana and you just make this 1/1 flyer and then it replaces itself. It's like you basically drew whatever you were going to draw plus a 1/1 flyer for 3 mana. It's like that's not amazing. Okay. Wow, I drew Supply Drop. Now they got a bunch of mana untapped. It could get kind of annoying. I'm actually just going to attack with these two because this keeps the rock hunter back still, and I see no reason to make that exchange. Do I want to go with anything else? No, I might as well just play the supply drop. Oh no, that actually doesn't save anything, does it? That was silly of me. I'll add to the damage. I mean, I wasn't really going to use my mana this turn anyways, except for maybe the War Plow. So I'll just get some damage in. Oh, Paratrooper, okay. Well, they got some beats going. But still, that was poor. Another Chaplain. I can't really stop their aerial beats. What'd they get? A Strong Bull. Wow, Simulacrum, dang. Well, now they're going off. Okay, so what do I want to do here? Well, I think we're going to leave these two back so I can successfully block these two. Then again, they can pay 5, but nah, I still got a good double block going. I think I want to fracture the Chaplain and then cast War Plow as a 1/1 death touch. So maybe I do want to attack with the Rager. Nah, because then I can still block all 3 on the ground, and they're only attacking for 2 in the air. I'm a little scared of Strong Bull. They can eventually... Well, no, they only have 1 artifact in play. So I think it might be okay. If they want to spend all their mana on this, they're welcome to. I think I'm under a lot of pressure here, though. I need to draw some sort of like X Factor type thing. I need to get out from under this somehow. I think like Iger Wellspring's one of my best draws. Having 2 removal spells in my hand, I'm way more inclined to kill the Paratrooper because I can remorse something else, and it prevents them from getting like a huge pump play going. I really need to preserve my life total with Strong Bull on the field. But yeah, I feel like I'm in poor shape. Onulet. Okay. Scrapwork Cohort. Yeah. The problem is I can't cast this and something else. I think I'm going to fracture Paratrooper and keep Remorse up. Yeah, I think that was the move. I don't see myself getting out from under this one, though. I'm trying to figure out how I can do it. But I'm just under too much pressure from too many sources. And I'm not able to exert enough pressure in return. Yeah, there's Strong Bull. I think I'm going to Remorse Onulet right now. I don't think because otherwise they attack. Well, Onulet can get blocked by War Plow, but then they'll bring it back in the future, and that's really bad. So what do I do? Well, War Plow can still block Strong Bull. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was the move. I think it was. It's possible that just waiting, because if the thing is, if I like used that on Strongbow, they can get an attack this turn where they attack with what, like all of these, right? Well, they could leave Simulacrum back. Oh, Static Net, that's really bad. Oh, nice hand for my opponent. Yeah, I definitely got a block here. Probably not going to do it. We'll see. Strongbow, I like have to block because it's going to be a 4. I'm going to go to 6. 5, 4. So Strongbow has to be blocked. 3, 2. Yeah. I think I'm just dead. Yeah, Strongbow has to be blocked. You might as well go like that. And then it doesn't matter. I can't like double block it in any meaningful way. Uh-huh. And an Infiltrator. So if I cast both of these, I have 1, 2, 3 blockers, or 1, 2, 3 blockers, and nope, and there's no way that they goof it. Okay, all right. Oh, yeah, okay, that's fine. Just a fair straight up beat down. My hand was a little awkward. I also goofed the supply drop play. Like maybe I shouldn't have played that and just played the war plow out, and then like kept supply drop to do something else. And that was probably a huge misplay because using that supply drop in another fashion might have been enough to like actually help me successfully navigate that. But that's okay. All right, round 4. All right, 2 and 1, 2 and 1. That's all right. Strong beatdown, and the thing is, like my deck's really focused on getting damage through. It doesn't really have a lot to stop the beatdowns. Wow, it's like my deck would kill me to like give me a hand with like the right color mana in it. I can't keep this. There's not enough good in this hand to justify that. Yeah, here we go. Now, do I keep Rock Hunter or Gixian Infiltrator? I think I keep Rock Hunter because I have no sacrifice on the horizon. Even though Infiltrator can get bigger, I'll just go like that. Yeah. Not an amazing hand. Good game. Is that like... Oh. I thought that was a misclick and not rudeness. Oh, red black as well, except they're, on the draw. And I'm drawing lands. Mm-hmm. That's really bad for me. Hopefully they miss. Oh, nope, they got something. They got Steel Exemplar. Jeez, man. I think I just want to get Battlefield Butcher on the battlefield. Just more mana efficient. I can play Whirling Strike later. Don't really want to trade this when I got the Whirling Strike in my hand. I'm so behind, though. Just by virtue of the mulligan. A Skull Flare, sure. Yeah, I'll just play Rager. What do they have in the graveyard? Just one Carrion Locust? Alright. No plays, and they have a 5-mana spell in their hand. Well, what do I make of that? Also, I gotta stop drawing land. I think I'm gonna Power Stone Fracture Rager on Skull Flare, and then Unleash Rager. And attack with these two. One creature. I don't want to do Whirling Strike because all this mana is untapped. That really looks like Unleash Shell to me. Is this Ashnod's intervention? That'd be fine if it was. They're thinking about it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I accept. Play Rager. I'm still saving the Rock Hunter for when I get Whirling Strike. Oh, supply drop. Okay, even better. Because I see no reason to trade here. Yep. What do you got for me? Yeah, it's a 6/6, sure. 2, no blocks. I could just cast this as a 6-mana spell, but I kind of want to Overwhelming Remorse this, bash for 3. Because if I play this, then they get like a big attack back in. Well, they'll actually not a huge attack. That is scary. They got a bunch of cards in hand. The thing is, neither of these actually beat the Steel Exemplar as a 6/6. Very nice of them to have 5 mountains in a single swamp. That's really excellent. Yeah, I think that this is the best play. I think going Remorse on this right now is, without like having much of a board presence, is too aggressive. Now they could just slap some other big fat thing on the table and I could be just in just as much trouble, but so it goes. Yeah. Yeah, I think I got a block here. Takes 6. Well, that's kind of what I figured. With a supply drop. And then Overwhelming Remorse right now, so they can't like use like any sort of sack effects. I don't know what they could have, but so I'm in bad shape. I'm getting there though. A Mishra, Tamer of Makfawa. You gotta be kidding me, dude. Well, I can't like attack into this. I think we draw a card first. Man, naturally. The Unearth on this is like so cheap too. That's insane. No, I just have to block and Whirling Strike this. They'll attack, except and they don't have any other artifacts, so that's decent. Okay. Well, they still trade. Wait, trample? No, I died. Jeez. That's so annoying. It's kind of what I'm talking about. This format's kind of bomby. Like, you need to have really powerful cards in your deck. Damn, I'm so bad about that. I click leave match when I want to look at stuff. Yeah, I mean, like, I was so behind with the, I guess I'm just loading up another one. Hang on one sec. Had to cut the recording because that's how I divvy up how I got the matches. So yeah, I was like so behind anyways that like it was it was kind of tough to like imagine winning, but like I almost got there, but yeah, they kind of had just enough. And then like I said, it was really annoying that they had the 5 mountains and single swamp to just jam that as a 4/4 because or as a 6/6 the whatever the heck that card is because as a 4/4 I could have beaten it, but as a 6/6 I couldn't. So and like whatever. What is this? Oh my god, what is happening here? Um, Rather than do that, I'm just gonna play Junkyard Genius first. I see no reason to just trade into this stupid thing. It's pro multicolored though. So maybe actually we'll just attack. Yeah. Okay. Yep. They didn't trade. That's super annoying. What is that? If I lose because they have a Spectrum Sentinel and my Junkyard Genius can't attack through it, I'm going to throw up. Oh. Okay. All right. Now, what do I play? Do I play another Genius or do I play a Cohort? I think I play Cohort, right? Yeah. Red green. And then they're playing Sardian Cliff Stomper? This is very interesting. Perfect. Okay. So I'll just kill Spectrum Sentinel. And then I can also play Supply Drop this turn. Right? And you can only add one mana of any color. So they can only have one. Yep. We'll just get this out of the way. Uses my mana, and then they can't continue to block. All right, I think I'm in good shape. Opponent's deck does not look incredible, but we'll see. Or maybe they'll just slam something nasty on me here, like a Rust Goliath. A Whirling Strike. Okay. Well, I can still attack with everything, right? Or what happens if I sacrifice an artifact, and then this gives 2, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, they just die. Sacrifice the Supply Drop. Yep, and that's lethal. Cool. Opponent's deck is playing some weak cards. You shouldn't play this card. It was going to be very annoying if it actually ended up owning my Junkyard Genius, but it is not great. And I want to do the battlefield. And the 2/2 Aura also not amazing. The Sardian Cliff Stomper also not amazing. Just kind of weak cards for my opponent there. So lucky me. All right, round 6. All right, here we go. Here we go. I'm feeling good. I go first. Yeah, I wish I had a 2-drop here, but that's okay. Hand looks decent. These supply drops have been okay, not amazing. Do I play Genius or Automaton first? Oh. I play Genius, right? Yeah, because then I'll have 5 mana next turn. I can play like Automaton and Infiltrator if I want. Maybe this just dies to Disfigure? Man, that's kind of annoying. That's okay. A Foundry Inspector, huh? Alright. Yeah. We'll name Human. This is a 3/2. Cool. Foundry Inspector is scary. I don't have any removal in my hand. And I got a bunch of cards in hand. But I can't play 2 tricks next turn. It is unfortunate that my Junkyard Genius died. If I draw a land, I'll probably use Whirling Strike and then Scrapbook Rager. We'll see what they play. Spotter Thopter is a 2/3. Okay. Two bottom. And a Coastal Bulwark. Dang. That's really annoying that they got to double spell off this Foundry Inspector like that. I think I still bash with everything, right? Because what happens if they double block? They can double block here, and then I Whirling Strike, and I still get 2 for 1. Or no, because I can Whirling Strike and Supply Drop, and they basically don't have good blocks then. Yeah, let's do it. I don't think I win this game by not attacking. So do I Whirling Strike here? I think... Or no, I Supply Drop. I think I Supply Drop because I want to leave the Whirling Strike behind, and Supply Drop will allow me to like draw a card and yeah, this will allow me to like maybe draw a card on a future turn, and like this is now in play to allow me to do that. Not a great use of my mana this turn. I feel really behind. This Foundry Inspector's killing me. Oh my god. So I have to discard. Hey, did I mention that this format's like really super bomby? How do I win now? Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can't draw a card off of this. Yeah, so we'll battle. Maybe I should have played Rager? Nah. Yep. Nah. We'll just Whirling Strike. I think I need to keep this on the battlefield. Yeah, I might be able to beat it. Kind of hard to imagine, but they can't really safely attack me. Wow, my opponent's deck has got bombs in it. Holy crap. How do I ever win? So I basically have to cast Warplow as the Death Touch. I guess to use Thraxodemon, they have to... Hang on. Another creature. So they have to sacrifice something real if they want to use Thraxodemon, which is good. Actually, I should have just attacked. Well, no, I have to leave this back. I can't afford to like take a bunch of damage. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't imagine not attacking with the Spotter Thopter is right. Yeah, this seems right to me. As long as they just like stay alive to a degree, like they just win the game. So I think I'm going to do this, attack, draw a card. It loses a life, which is really scary for me, but I don't think I'm going to get anywhere by not doing that. Mountain. We'll see what they do with this. They'll probably block, right? Yeah. We'll play Rock Hunter, which at least blocks. Okay. Well, I think I lose. I think I lose. We'll see. I mean, I thought I lost before, too. I could draw out of this. Nope. Nope. That's lethal. Well, Power Stone Fracture helps. The problem is, it's like, what do I kill with this? I basically have to kill Thopter right now. Um, and then I have 3 blockers. Yeah, I will sacrifice this. Oh. Oh, I can't. Oh, because I cast Infiltrator. Because I only have 1 black, naturally. So I just lose? No, no. Yeah, no, I do just lose because yeah, there's no way to win here because they'll just sacrifice something with Demon, and then I'll lose to a Puppeteer. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Well, gang, that was pretty brutal. That was pretty brutal. I mean, this was absurd. 5/4 discard 2 for 5 actually. Because they had the Foundry Inspector. This card is like one of the best of the retro artifacts, by the way. I mean, this card's absurd. Um, Drawing the Scatter Ray was really nice for them, but I suppose it wouldn't have mattered that much. I was in so much trouble. But Rock Hunter blocking this is one of the only ways I like even get close to getting out of this game. And then this is also like an A-level card. Really, really incredible. So yeah, not sure how I was ever beating these. But that's okay. Let's look at the deck. Let's look at the deck. Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm a little nervous about this set, guys. It seems really, really princely. Um, what didn't play that well? Rager was a little anemic. It was fine. I never played Unleashed Shell. I never played Juggernaut. Strongbow would have been okay. The hands where I saw my Junkyard Geniuses were absurd, and then when I didn't, it was like all only okay. I don't know. The deck seemed fine. I just what I wish I could remember how I lost better, like in the wrap ups, because like it's so hard for me to remember things. And I want to be able to dissect it a little bit better, but I can never really recall. Well, here, hang on. Okay, gave myself a quick refresher. So I lost a red white aggro, which so that's kind of a lesson there. Is like this deck is like looks like an aggro deck, and I mean, or it is an aggro deck, but it actually doesn't really have like much in the way of like defending myself from other aggressive decks. So that's kind of an important thing to understand. That like I mean, yeah, I got like war plows that like work in like the 2-drop slot or whatever, but it was like only fine. Like I had like no life gain. I just kind of like had to get out in front of them, and then my creatures were actually all pretty anemic on defense for the most part. So that's kind of a lesson learned is that like when you're an aggro deck, like sometimes you play other aggro decks and it's like you do have to like win the race somehow. So maybe Moment of Defiance would have been a good card to play just for the lifelink. Though I do think this card's a little overcosted. Um, but that could have been a thing. I don't think Corrupt was it. I mean, you saw in that last game, like I had like 4 mountains in 1 swamp. Like this card is just like too much of a liability when you're playing split mana. So that was the thing. And then I lost the game where I was playing the red black mirror, except I mulliganed on the play and then they had Mishra. So I don't really know what to make of that one. Like, you know, like listen, you guys got to hear me complain about mana through all of Dominaria United. Well, now you get to hear me complain about it when it's like mulligan because of my mana, and then they like run like 5 mountains out and cast their whatever that card is. I'm gonna remember the names of these cards eventually, guys. So that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. I think I could have came close to winning that one too, but then I ended up just like falling too behind on those turns. So yeah, you can't really like worry about that too much. Like sometimes you just mulligan and die. There was more of a game to it than that. I don't want to just say like, oh, there's nothing I can do. I mulligan, but it's. I mean, honestly, like that definitely played into it. And then I mean that last game, like you just kind of get bombed out sometimes too. Like I had like some kill cards. Like, I mean, I had Power Stone Fractures. If I would have seen my Overwhelming Remorse and my Unleashed Shell a little bit more, I would have felt a little bit better. I don't think I ever cast this, did I? Or no, I did. I cast it the one game. I did get lucky to win that one game, where I just like ripped him out. And, like that was extremely convenient. So you got to remember when you get lucky as well as when you get unlucky. You know. But yeah, I think I could have got a little bit farther because the triple junkyard genius is just that good. You know. Like I was worried that this card was going to be a little more awkward than it seems, and it just wasn't. It just slammed. You know. I saw my supply drops a decent amount, and they were fine. They were decent. The +2/+2 was kind of just not big enough, but it was really nice that they provided like sacrifice fodder. So this was kind of a good lesson too, in that you know, I think in a lot of decks, like if I was just like playing green white, I'll put it this way: if I was playing a deck where like I didn't have anything to do with the artifact, and it was just I was playing this just as like a trick that could draw a card, I think it's a little too slow for that, because it's just not enough size for the mana, and it's not enough, and then the card draw is too expensive. But I was able to get away with playing it in this deck because I was playing a like Power Stone Fracture Junkyard Genius deck, and so it worked out really well. So that was decent. That was decent. Gixian Infiltrator was okay. It did get sizable-ish, but at the same time, like it's still like traded off with like all the cheap stuff anyways. Like even when it got like decently sized, it was okay. This is more of a defensive card than it is an aggressive card. That's something to be learned. So that's the draft, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'm probably going to honestly run back another one here. You know, it's early on in the format. I'm going to just try to put out as many of these as I can and learn as much as I can as quick as I can. So this is, yeah, but this is the first one. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next time.